Thank you so much for clicking back on this video. If you're new and you don't know who I am, my name is TMR, and over here we do reactions and reviews. How's everyone doing? I hope everybody is okay. And now that I got your attention, make sure before you leave this channel, you most definitely subscribe to it. Also, make sure you click the notification bell because they do go hand in hand. So every time I drop a new video, you'll be the first one to know it. All right, you guys. So today, as you've seen from the title, we're going to talk about something that could potentially affecting a lot of people in our country right now, okay? And I really wanted to bring this to my TMR family because I know a lot of times people need to know things but don't know things. Now, obviously, reading a lot of articles and stuff because rent, mortgage payment is something that affects everybody in our country and everybody that you know, including yourself. Because of COVID-19, the coronavirus pandemic, our government enacted a new act called the CARES Act. The CARES Act protected a lot of people from experiencing financial hardship. And one of the things that they enacted in that CARES Act is an eviction or foreclosure moratorium, okay? So you guys, that moratorium is soon to end very rapidly, and in some states it has already expired. What we could potentially be experiencing now and it is an eviction foreclosure apocalypse. So you guys, I took some notes, so I'm going to be looking down and stuff. So I hope this video helps somebody, and if it doesn't help you, if you can share it with somebody that it could potentially help, I'd really would appreciate it. And make sure you like this video. And if you just heard that noise, that means my air conditioner is kicking on because y'all, it's going to be 90 degrees in my city today. So like I said, you guys, this pandemic has affected a lot of people. And all those states are resuming right now. A lot of states are opening back up. And the economy is trying to get a kickstart on flowing again. Y'all, it's still a lot of struggles with the economy. Unemployment is still at a very alarming rate. I believe I read the other day it's still well over 1 million people on unemployment. And even in my state, you guys, as of yesterday, they have just enforced or enacted a 13-week extension to the unemployment because the percentage rate of people that's on unemployment in our state, I believe it's above 5.9% or a percentage of that nature. So it's still very high. We do know, you guys, before the coronavirus pandemic happened, a lot of people in our country struggled with maintaining adequate housing. Due to a lot of shortage of housing and also due to the cost of housing. You know, to rent a 3-bedroom apartment could potentially be at the minimum $1,500 a month, depending on where you live. And for a lot of people who are making minimum wage, they can't meet those costs. So what happens, you guys, in turn, it has pushed a lot of people to become homeless. So what they're saying now with this eviction apocalypse, it could be an alarming rate of people becoming homeless. With that CARES Act, you guys, the government also allowed it that states to have the pandemic unemployment benefit, which allowed you to have an additional $600 on top of your weekly benefit amount. Well, obviously, you guys, that wasn't something that was going to last forever. It was a short-term situation to what they didn't know was going to be a long-term problem, okay? So as you know, in our state, we are still having a health crisis with the coronavirus COVID-19 pandemic situation. The part of the unemployment that allowed you to have that additional $600 will be ending as of July 25th, I believe it is. I believe it's either the 25th or the 31st. And the government still hasn't decided if they're going to do anything with it, if they're going to allow people to extend that. And I'm going to be honest with you, I really feel like they're not going to do it because it's already been a lot of conversations of saying that a lot of people are not going back to work. Even if they have the opportunity to go back to work, they're not going back to work because a lot of people now are making more money on unemployment than they did going to work their 9-to-5, 40-hour-a-week job. And at the end of the day, you know, that's sad that it had to be an emergency in order for you to make a decent amount of money, and the only reason you were is because the government gave you an additional $600. And I'm gonna be real honest with you guys. I really believe that the government didn't intend for that $600 unemployment part to be something that was beneficial in that sense, where you could potentially be making more money than you did on your job before the pandemic. But obviously, you guys, they rushed through that because they were trying to, put things in place to cover Americans so they won't be in financial ruins. And now that they see, since things are sort of kind of settling down, they now seeing that doing that caused a situation where people were making more money than they intended for them to have. And at the end of the day, my personal thought with that is, people need to live. People want to live. People don't want to live check to check. So what I feel like the government needs to do to help Americans, I know they keep talking about this extra stimulus check, but what you really need to do is raise minimum wage. That stimulus check that you're trying to give obviously is a short-term situation, but if you raise minimum wage, that's a long-term solution for a lot of people. Now I'm going to explain a little bit about the moratorium. Moratorium, guys, basically just means that they are putting a halt on any type of expense that you have. In this situation, we're talking about rent. They're putting a halt on your obligation to pay the rent at that moment, but the amount of rent that you incur every month is still going to be due. The moratorium is just saying that as of right now, you don't have to worry about that. But what people are not understanding is moratorium doesn't mean that we're going to forgive the money that you owe. It just basically says we're going to give you time to not pay that amount until things get back to a normal situation. Well, again, a lot of states have now, the moratoriums are ending in a lot of states, and a lot of people are going to be faced with evictions and possibly foreclosures on their home. And the worst thing that someone could experience is to lose something that they worked so hard for in a situation that they had no control over. So yesterday, you guys, the FHA, the Federal Housing Authority, did extend the moratorium. The federal moratorium, renters and for homeowners, have now extended it to August 31st. But again, you guys, it doesn't mean that you don't have to pay your rent. Your rent is still due. What I would advise you to do is go to your landlord. Try to work out some agreement, because really, to be quite honest with you, the landlord really can't afford to put you out, because he's going to take a loss on the monies that he would have been receiving if it wasn't a pandemic. And he's also going to take a loss on spending money to even file an eviction. And right now, during our pandemic, a lot of people are not running looking for places to live. They're trying to maintain the housing that they have right now. So to be honest with you, your landlord wouldn't really benefit trying to evict you, because that apartment or house obviously could be sitting empty or unoccupied until that person or persons could get somebody to occupy it. So what I would do is, it's a situation where they can win and you can win. It's honestly just go to your landlord, explain to them your situation. If you're on unemployment or furlough or whatever, or if your job is just not opening back up and you're just not going back to work, talk to your landlord, work out some agreement, because honestly, those landlords need that money because they have a mortgage to pay. Because unfortunately, for a lot of landlords, Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac, if they're not an owner-occupied property, CARES Act, which is allowing FHA federally funded loans to be in a forbearance up to a year, does not qualify if it's not an owner occupancy property. So if you have a landlord that's renting his property that he owns, they have an FHA loan, yeah, it doesn't protect them. The CARES Act doesn't protect them. So again, it's in your benefit to work out something with your landlord, to make some type of arrangement and agreement, especially if this is some housing that you want to stay in, so that you can work something out and you can stay in your home. The city of San Francisco has also put in place a permanent moratorium for the residents of San Francisco. So if you are a person that lives in San Francisco and you could possibly be facing an eviction with the moratoriums coming to an end, San Francisco said, look, don't worry about it. San Francisco essentially made its moratorium permanent last week, prohibiting landlords from ever using missed rent for pandemic-related reasons grounds for evictions. So if the reasons why you haven't been paying your rent is because you have been affected by the pandemic, then San Francisco just put in place where landlords can't even evict you for those reasons, right? So that's really good. Obviously, you guys, a lot of cities are not going to adopt that, but San Francisco is one of them. Also, New York is another state that has basically made the moratorium long-standing, trying to allow people to get up back on their feet. Because at the end of the day, you guys, that moratorium basically was put in place to allow people to get up on back on their feet, because we do know a lot of people have been financially affected by this current COVID-19 pandemic, right? So if this doesn't do anything, you guys, this should really show people that in situations, a lot of times we have things, obviously what's going on right now, that's not foreseen. You didn't see this coming. So people need to put plans in place for unforeseen incidents, that you always have some type of safety net put aside. Even if you have a forbearance and you're a homeowner right now and you have a forbearance with your lender, it's not saying right now that at the end of that forbearance period, for example, if you took 6 months, at the end of the 6 months, you would not have to pay that whole lump sum, that whole 6 months that you were forbeared on. You would not have to pay all that at the end of that 6 months. You would not have a lump sum payment. They are working things out with homeowners. Now, again, that doesn't apply for people who are renters, but like I said earlier, you guys, I would encourage any renter to go to your landlord, your apartment complex, whoever you are renting from, and work out an agreement. Only, tell them what you know that you can afford to pay, so therefore you can rectify your situation. And in the meanwhile, you guys, it is always best to have several streams of revenue. Right now, you guys, in our current situation, finding things that can be profitable to you, where you can make money off your talents or your interests, is highly encouraged, right? Just for example, you guys, YouTube. If you can start a YouTube channel, maybe you're somebody that has talents, maybe you're somebody that just has interests that you enjoy, hobbies, whatever, and obviously there are other people that have that same interest as you. Start you a YouTube channel. It's a way that you can still make income, and if we get into a situation again where they put our country on lockdown, you making videos in your home and still ensure you of being able to have some type of income coming into your home. Even if you're a person that has, maybe you have a health issue. Maybe you have a health issue and you're battling with it, and you have some things that you've been doing trying to overcome your health situation. Make a YouTube channel about it. There's obviously somebody has the same situation as you and would find interest and comfort in listening to how you deal with your health situation. You guys, in this current difficult financial times, this is a time that people need to be creative. You need to be creative. Even if you're a person that has a pickup truck, guess what? Somebody always needs something hauled or take away. You can make money off of doing that. There are so many ways that you can make money that people don't even think about. And I really feel like right now in our current times, people have really started using their minds and thinking of ways that they can make extra money. Sis, if you've been doing your homegirl's hair and you've been doing it for free, you slipping on your pimping, sis. You need to start charging, okay? You do nails on the side. You do your own nails. Get yourself a certification and start doing nails on the side. Obviously, during this pandemic, we couldn't go to the nail shop and get our nails done. A lot of people were feeling very angsty about that because, they want to keep their nails looking cute. Could be that person that can supply that, benefit to your friends and families. And you charge a nominal fee to do people's nails. Obviously, sis, if you bring them in your house, make sure they got a mask. Make sure things are, safe and secure and healthy for you and your client. But look, you got to take your talents and make money out of them, okay? It just only makes sense. And not only that, you guys, we have to start learning how to save. As a person, as a whole, we have to learn how to start saving our money. Even if it's just you start with a small savings. At the beginning of the year, we all do those money challenges and we say we're going to save this by the end of the year. But you guys, don't just make that a New Year's resolution. Make that a part of your everyday life. It's very easy to save money. I know for some people it could be hard, but even if you just start with $5 a week or $10 a week or whatever, you have to start somewhere in order to build something. But to keep talking about what you're going to do and never get it done, it's not benefiting you at all. People really need to start taking a better look at their finances. Think of ways that you can cut things out in your home. Like maybe you have cable and you don't really watch TV. Well, then you probably will need to get rid of cable and get you something else like Netflix or Hulu. You have a smart television and can get you a smart television, have internet service in your home, and you can stream your movies and TV shows right there and don't have to pay that astronomical price to have cable television. Because I know y'all, we have cable and it's ridiculous. I'm trying to convince my husband to get rid of cable because I don't really watch TV like that. So, you guys, I just wanted to bring this conversation to you because, like I said, I know a lot of people right now are probably facing this eviction apocalypse, and I don't want people to worry about it. You know, I do understand to be concerned, but I don't want you to be worried. I want people to use their resources in their community to find help, to seek help. You can also dial 211 from your cell phone, and it will automatically put you in the community resources in your city or in your state to help you to find out things that you probably don't even know about. You guys, I would just encourage you to seek out all the resources in your community or in your area. Seek them out to get you help. If you got utility bills that are behind, please call your utility companies. Make some type of arrangements. A lot of times, you guys, there are things going on that if you don't ask, you won't know. There is an old saying, a closed mouth never gets fed. So if you allow your mouth to be closed and you don't tell people what you need and want, they won't offer it either. All right, you guys, I most definitely will see you in the next video. Thank you so much for stopping by. And remember, sub what you love.